strike first. I had it and there's a strike for Justin. Great ball. Well, that'll work. All over. And Tim. There's a X-ray fill. All right, there it is. And you can't fill it. Head pin. All right, there it is. There's a double strike.
Good morning, everybody. It's Micah, and I'm here at Ryan Family Amusements in Millis, Massachusetts, and I'm happy to bring you Justin Waters against Ed Woodside. Whenever they're ready, they'll step up on the lanes, but I have to tell you, I am sitting here. I'm looking at probably 12, 15 lanes worth of good bowling. I'm good to go when you guys are. Mics are all live. Have fun. Unfiltered, uncensored, all the rage between two really talented Class A bowlers here. Obviously, Waters coming in off of a hot start, and I believe roughly almost a year and a half of not being defeated in points in a match in the ACST. Rocking a 133 average and a 46-10 record, going against Ed Woodside from Central Park Lanes, coming here with a 28-14 record and a 119 average. But as Justin loves to do, he's opted to go first as the home bowler. So here we go. Starts out on the head pin, but a little heavier than he'd probably have liked. Sitting here looking at the 2 and 6, and I need to mute my Twitch stream. Give me 1 second. Right through the bunny hole, unfortunately for Justin. Hopefully the echo clears itself up in a little bit. And he'll pick off one to settle for a 9 box. Alrighty, Justin looking to start himself up here. Off his target, but gets a pretty good bit of plate action. Pin cam can choose to take itself. Give me 1 second. Sitting here trying to watch a million things live time. So looking at the 1, the 3, and the 7. Oof, a little solid on the head pin. Gonna punch that out, leaving just a 3 and the 7. All the fun of going live. Thank you for taking care of me there, Ian. I appreciate it. Oh, and a beautiful 10 box. I'm sure he would have rather have had the spare. But 19 through 2 for Justin is Ed sitting here to my left, pacing back and forth, watching Justin's first half. Yeah, it's part of the fun of it. When I'm working down on the end here in Millis, I have to use this little metal portable table. Justin light on the head pin, washes around, leaves the diamond to the left. But yeah, I'm seriously looking at, I think, 14 lanes worth of youth bowling, which is great. See them grow up to be the next Justin Waters. Justin a little tight on that release. He's going to punch out the 5, so he's got the side triangle. The 2, 4, 8. Clean up for a 10. Nardone, what's going on, buddy? I see you lurking there. straight on it once again. Solid finish for Justin as he takes up another 10 box. So 29 through 3. And I should give you guys the score sheet, so we'll bring that in over here on the side. It may be the pros of tomorrow, but looking at some of these guys, might be a few tomorrows before they are ready to go up against Justin or Ed here. Let's see if Justin can get back on track. That's the way to start, but no. A little nudge of the 6-pin, but not enough to knock it. For those that are watching my scoreboard, the boxes that are highlighted in yellow indicate the head pin being hit by the ball on the first ball. Whoa! Justin's going to miss that one slightly, but thanks to a little bit of love and a bounce, he's able to get that guy to fall over gently. So his first marker of the match here, looking at 39 plus. Yeah, it's lucky until you do it all the time, and then it's good, right? I can't take anything away from the way he throws. Little skip, little mix, and a little bit of a wash there as he takes 7. So the front arrow is out. He's looking at the 5, 8, 9. He's got a plank that's a little off center in front of it. So you're going to want to kind of catch this one probably right in the middle between the stripe and the cap. Woo. I had the feeling, unfortunately, if he went too far one way or the other, he'd end up pushing the wood around the 5. Unfortunately, that is what happened. So Justin's going to settle for the 7 fill. I'm looking for the pin for a 56 half. And boy, I couldn't pick those up the other night, that's for sure. So not the start Justin would want. His ball on the cameras here saying almost 37 miles an hour, which is at the pin, so you know it's coming out of his hands even harder. He absolutely has just a great, smooth approach, but we're going to get our first look here at Ed Woodside. And, yep, first ball jitters, first ball wet hands, whatever you want to call it. He drops that one out to the right, takes out the back right triangle. And second ball's in there, and it's never over in Millis, is it? So a little light on the head pin. Pins kind of wobble around a bit and everything but the 4. Oh, and Ed's going to start out open with a 9. So even through a box. And as you can see, at the bottom of the scoreboard, I'll give you the splits for the string as well as through completed boxes. So Ed's got 47 to cover up in the half, but they're even through 1. Second ball still a little short of target. He's going to leave himself the 4 horse to the left and the 10 pin over to the right. He's got a piece of wood up against the 4 that might help convert this. Shouldn't block it. He hit it the way that I like to, but a little light. Wraps the head pin around. So now he's down to the 2, 4, 7, and 10. And no love off the wall. Pin came across but didn't catch the 10, so he'll settle for a 9. 18 through 2, and Justin has a 1-pin lead through completed boxes. Ed finds the head pin, but unfortunately, as does oftentimes when you hit the head pin, he's looking at a split, so he's looking at the 3-4 without any help out there. And that ball's going to get out of his hand a little early, so he's still looking at the 3-4 and not looking too happy about that one. I had the pleasure of bowling at Central Park Lanes a couple weeks ago. I really enjoyed the alley. Ed punches the 3 to take his third 9 in a row, so he's certainly looking to get a mark or 2 here. Trailing Justin by 2 and needs 29 to even him up at the half. And as Mike Nardone would say, this match is brought to you by, well, in my case, coffee. Ed's on the head pin, a good clobber. Justin cheering him on from behind as pins kind of fall over, but when it settles, he's got a plank kind of blocking his way to the 10. So this could be trickier than it seems. I would go right at the stripe. Yep, he did. And unfortunately, the ball kicked off of it, went up into the pit, and left it standing. So single pin on the 10. Boy, I tell you, those same side single pins are always tough. Nice pin. 37 through 4 is Ed still looking for his first mark. Trailing by 9 through completed boxes, and needs 19 to catch Justin for the half. So this is a good place to hang a mark. The quick plates here at Millis turns that what would have possibly been a half Worcester heavy hit into this strange looking 1-8-10. A great piece of wood behind the head pin to help get some action here. And wow, I really thought that was in there. I don't trust candy cane pins, man. I don't think that they're real. I think they're alien pins down here to mess with our scores. But for better or worse, Ed is right on it there. And through 5. Justin's got 1 spare, 4 head pins. And Ed's just got a couple of head pins. But if it keeps on this pace, Justin's going to take the first string and a 2-0 lead in the match. For those of you who've bought by, ACST matches are 5-string matches. Bowlers bowl 5 boxes at a time. The winner of each string gets 2 points, and the winner of the total pinfall gets an additional 4 points. So, Justin off his mark here on 21 as we see this lane for the first time. He's looking at the 1, the 2, and the 10. He's got some pretty flat planks behind it. Shouldn't make a difference here. So, obviously, you just want to put this between the 1 and the 2. And he did. And is it going to roll and get it? No. Not enough juice there on that piece of wood to roll and take out the 10 pin, but a little high on the head pin's all it takes to not get that spare. So Justin looking for his 10 here. And absolutely drills the plank and cleans up the box. One of the stats that one of the bowlers in the ACST wanted to see was called perfect boxes, number of boxes in which a bowler throws a strike, spare, or a 10. And both of these guys are insane in that stat. Justin with 69%, Ed with 61%. Light on the head pin, a good little kick off the wall, and that plan's gonna finally gutter. So he's got 3 pieces of wood there braced up against the 9 and the 10. Should be able to hit that right. I would try to hit it right in the center and hope it pushes through, but they might wash each other out. We'll see what happens here. Up, off the cap, and he'll take it. So let's get that one again here while Justin waits for the pins to reset, and he's going to clear that wood out of the gutter. So you'll see here he comes up really high, right on the cap, and it's what you got to do. You know, sometimes you just got to put the ball in the right place and hope that the, yep, absolutely hope that the wind. Ramp down. Family bringing their kids here to teach them how to bowl. All right, Justin's cleared the dead wood, looking at 76 plus a ball. He's been on the head pin 5 out of 7 times. See if we can keep that streak alive. I think he skipped that one a little off the foul line. I'm not giving him credit for head pin on that, but look at this. Gonna have to fix his score sheet overhead for his own. But I don't go by that. So as he corrects his score to a 9, I think Ed's gonna go check that piece of wood up front. My angle's a little off. Normally, I would expect to see a little more darkness on the tip of that pin. So I think that one's possibly gonna stay in play. Yeah, I think it's in too. Let's see. Yep, nope. Ed's walking over, so it must be there. I give him credit. A real pro puts the towel down so he doesn't get his knees all dusty. So pulled the pin out. And Justin's got basically a nice open shot at a 10 pin. And I don't know about you. These are ones that I think about a lot. You know, same side corners. That's the good side of Eddie. And Justin's right on it for 2 in a row as I smack my table here. Yeah, I'll need to put a new toggle in on my stream so I can quickly disable the pin cams when someone's down there. so I don't give you the plumber shots. Things to think about that you would never normally think about. But thankfully, we got Mike here to keep me laughing. All right, Justin looking to fill this one here, 95 plus. That one sails off to the other side of the head pin. Speaking of which, that was not a head pin hit for him, so I got to take that first one away. As he fills it with 6. We are looking at quite the mess here with the 1, the 2, the 9, and the 10. Not a lot of wood to really help push it. Woo. He gets that guy dancing, but just never came out of the gutter. So he'll take 2 out of the 4. Looking at the 9, 10, and as you're supposed to, he's going to wait for that wood to settle down, which looks like it's pretty solid. You're going to want to come up pretty high on that one. Try to drive it through the 2 of these. So let's see if you can hit that cap. Oh! So, pretty much right where you'd want to. And, hey Barry, thanks for swinging by. Your first TV roll-off. Eddie was there in Needham Bowl back in 2003. It's sad that 2003 sounds like a long time ago. I'm sure most of us started 10, 20 years before that, even more. All right, let's see what happens here. Heavy on the head pin. Oh, a little Millis love there saves him from a split as the 7 comes back from the gutter and takes out the 4. So just the 10. Again, these same side single pins. That's one of the biggest differences between the A bowlers, the B bowlers, and so on. Justin 3 for 3 as he just drills that one. So we'll replay that. 120 plus. So it's going to come up a little short of his average for the season here. But he's going to give Ed some work here. 73 plus that Ed's going to have to come up with in the second half to tie this up. And if you're going to throw a spread eagle or a variant as he takes out the 7, 125 as he doesn't have to bother cleaning that one up. 8 under his average. So Ed's going to need 75 for the win as Justin goes 7 for 10 on the head pin. 4 spares. Missing a ball. We got Danny Finn here going to retrieve some equipment for Ed. Part of the fun of Candlepin. You know, old equipment and strange designs. Balls will get less lost down there as Ed comes across the head pin, leaving himself the 4 horse off to the right. Oh, that one's come a little further to the left than he wanted. And for the cleanup. Wow, that was pretty.
All right, right back on it. Come on.
And as you see, Justin Waters sitting right over my shoulder. We'll pick up his voice as he's cheering on Ed. Let's see if Ed can get himself started. Oh, ouch. Millis may be a kind house when the pins are on the plate, but Ed pops out the 1-5 and gets some great spin as he gets the 2 pin off the wall. When the dust settles, he's got the 6-10 to the right, the 7 over to the left. Piece of wood that might be tough to get to kick over there. But the second one, oh, we're going to grab that. That's only a 10, but it's a pretty 10, so. At 67 through 7, Ed needs 59 over these last. I don't. Oh, you got to come down here and heckle people live, man. This time Ed a little off to the right, leaving himself the 4 horse to the left. So the opposite of his first box in this half. A couple of strikes would definitely make things a lot easier for him. And just off his target. So, no mic. You don't need a mic. I can give you a mic. Or did my mic drop out? I don't see it dropping out. Anyways, Ed punches out the head pin to clean that up for an 8. not the kind of start Ed wants. He's sitting here at 75 with 2 to go. Off the mark.
All right, got a break there.
Gets a Millis 8 out of there. So the 1-2 to clean up for a spare and get himself started. Oh, Mike, when you come down here, believe me, I have a mic for you. You can take it with you and chirp away all stream long. Ed leaves that one out to the right. So still, once again, the 1-2 as he's kind of struggling to find his throw. And he's going to leave the head pin on the plate for a 9. So Justin's going to take the first string for sure. But we'll see if Ed can chip into the total pinfall at this point in time. One of the things that I think I enjoyed about Justin the first time I met him, I think last year, while he's here for his ACST matches, he's got a nice little binder to track his performances and stuff like that. As Ed hits the head pin and is left with a 2-1 split to the right. But, no, Mike, I would love to. My hall passes tend to be Saturdays, as Ed's going to take a 9 and try to shake off this first string. Certainly not what he wants to open up with a 93. Justin's going to take the string by 32, 125 to 93. Waters with 7 head pins, 4 spares, and 4 tens. Ed with only 4 head pins and 4 tens for the first string, but it's early in the match, 4 strings to go, and Justin's going to start us off here in the second in just a moment. So yeah, Mike, you scheduler, Mike, your matches here for Saturdays and Millis. That's got to go. Wow. The 8 and 9 were slow to the parties. Yep. That one's going to find its way out of play. Good. So Justin's just got the 7 pin here to pick up for the spare. Millis generally will kick away a decent number of strikes. Justin continues to absolutely crush single pins the way that you'd expect. Yeah, Saturdays are great down here. The only downside is the kids league seems to take over the fun side of the house, so I can't get the high tables. But other than that, boom. Mike asked for it. Mike gets it. Justin follows up the strike with a punishing spare. Spare with a punishing strike. Right on the pocket, the head pin getting cleared out at the end. So 20 through 2 is, 30 plus through 2 as we sit here and wait on the pin setter. We should have had time. I think it was the first match of the season. Justin was, 16 strikes in the match. Is that right? I think it was something ridiculous like that. Checking on the pin setter here. The way that these pin setters work, and sometimes all it can take is a ball to get stuck in the wrong spot and just kind of behaves strangely. Trying to figure out where the echo comes from in this mic when I use it, but try to square that away. I hear it bits and pieces, and then it cleans itself out. That's Matt Taylor, who works here at Ryan's, or Ryan Family Amusements. You hear the pins rattling and rolling around. There it is. Hey, Skull, thanks for popping by over there on Twitch. And for anybody who, beyond the Facebook streaming that I do here for ACST matches, I also do them over on my Twitch channel. Part of the fun of that, Justin works on the strike. Heavy on the head pin, and he's going to sit there with a split looking at the left wing and the 9 pin behind it. Matt Adorable Taylor. We'll tell him that. He'll make his day. Ooh, as Justin punches through on the strike. So he's going to settle for a 7. Has to clean up the 4-7-9 for the 10. We'll see how this goes. Chops out the 4, so he'll settle for an 8 box. The quick and easy setup of 2 marks in a row comes to an end with an open. One of the things I love about Twitch, though, is that if you are watching the stream, you can quickly cut out, a minute video, 15, 30 seconds or whatever, and download your highlight clips. Woo! A strong ball on the head pin for Justin, but as nice as Millis can be, it can be just as harsh as anybody else there, leaving him the 5-7. Dan, there definitely can be great pin action here. No doubt. The sidewalls have a good kick as Justin takes out the 5, so he's just got the 7 with a piece of wood nestled up against it, but that shouldn't block him from taking this down. But these lanes can also get really tight. It's almost like they warm up. Justin's off his mark. Going to settle for a 9. So 54 through 4. As Ed's sitting here getting ready to go up in just a minute. One of the things I like about the ACST is I get to bowl in a bunch of different houses, and since I came back to bowling a couple of years ago, Justin off his mark, leaving the 1-3, and I'm going to call that the 5.7 as he's moved the 6 a little to the left. But yeah, getting to bowl in different houses. I bowled down in Yarmouth, I bowled at CPL, I bowled at Timber Lanes over in Abington. And Justin just quickly cleans up that little bit of a mess, so he's going to leave his spare hanging as he goes 4 for 5 on head pins, 2 spares in his strike. And I didn't want to do that, but let me clean up my mess over here as Ed comes up and gets his practice slides in. I try to do what I can. I'm a dork and a nerd, and when I came back to bowling, I saw a lot of people, doing streams, or it's just like a camera mounted behind the bowlers or whatever, or a phone rather. Ed looking to get the spare, comes up a little short, punches out the 1-2. So he's got the 4-10, piece of wood that's a little too far turned in my opinion to kick over to the 10, but we'll see what happens here. Ooh! You got the 4 to kick off the wall, and again, these walls do have a lot of life here at Millis. Yeah, no love getting the 10 pin there. But yeah, I've streamed for all sorts of other stuff, and I figured why not go ahead and do it for Candlepin. And as Ed's off his mark again, looking at the 1-2-7 here, he's got a piece of wood behind the 2, so this, if he hits the head pin high, should carry over pretty easily. And, well, there you go. Sometimes you have to fight for the spares, but he takes that one down pretty nicely. Am I sticking around for the Candlepin rollout? No. No, I would like to, but I am going to try to get myself back home. I got some stuff to fix and some sick wife to take care of. So Ed leaves himself a pretty nice. Come on, there we go. The 5-7-8 with some friendly wood, and a little love off the wall as he cleans that one up nicely. So 2 spares in a row for Ed for the first time. Actually, 2 spares at all for Ed. And we'll see how he can keep this fill going. Mr. Peterson, thanks for swinging by. Ed continues to have struggles with the head pin, but he still gets a 6 fill out of there. So a nice piece of wood once again behind the head pin. So head pin high and hard, and that plank should help carry out that back triangle. And oof. Unfortunately, it came off the wall a little too much, and nothing but the 7 pin. Me too, Mike. Yeah, she got a nasty cold. So Ed cleans up the 7 for a 10. 52 through 4. He's down by 2 to Justin through completed boxes, and obviously he needs a mark to keep pace. This looks good. Up high on the head pin. Unfortunately, the 7 doesn't get tripped, so he's got the right wing and the 7 pin all the way over there to the left. Ball came up a little bit on him. Punches out the 3 and slaps himself. I do the same thing when I miss, or actually when I get a shot that I want. No love coming off the wall there. He'll take out the 6-10 for a 9. And he'll have a 61 half. Most of us might be happy with that, but for these guys, it's just another average pace. So as it stands through right now, if Justin holds serve, he'll take a 4 points to none lead, winning the first 2 string. But 4 head pins, a strike and a spare for Justin. 2 head pins, 2 spares, and a 10 for Ed in the first half. Oh, I didn't see that match. All right, Justin here working on the spare, so he's at 64 plus. And the joy of Millis. I'm not giving him a head pin for that. So everything but the 7 as the wood comes back and takes it forward. Got a plank in front of the 7, but shouldn't be a problem for him at all. Straight on it. And drives it back in for the spare. So starting out the second half hot. Almost picture perfect for where you want that. All right, Justin looking to fill. He's had great fills all string long. So on the head pin to kick off the wall. A little touch of the 10 pin, but not enough to get it. So again, an excellent 9 fill. He's got a piece of wood lined up against the 10. He's going to want to hit this a little high. And there it is. So 3 marks in a row for Justin as he cleans up his mess. 102 plus here through 7. See if he can keep this new head pin streak alive. That looks to be on it. Throws his hands out to the side, expecting a split. And just like the wood here can help you and the action can help you, sometimes it takes a good leave and makes it worse. So gets a few more pins on the fill, settling for 7. But he's got the 4, 7, 10. Interesting piece of wood way over to the right. I wonder if he's going to try to shoot that across. No, he goes that piece of wood. I don't know if he missed what he was aiming for. Drives that one back. So I imagine at this point in time, he's going to look at just taking down the 2 pins. Shoot at the 4, 7. And try for a kick off the wall, but it's not there. So he'll take the 9. 118 through 8. Again, Justin coming into this match, averaging 133 so far in the ACST. I believe that's through 4 matches. So this will be his 5th. A little lift on the ball. He's on target for the head pin, but real solid. Leaves the left triangle and the 6-10. A couple of teasing pieces of wood here over to the right, but I don't know that either of them is really going to help make it kick across. Skull Buddy, have a good time, man. I hope you can have a good Saturday. Ooh! He does get the push off the wall, but not quite on line to do any damage there on the left side. So he has the triangle. Got a piece of wood angled roughly in front of it, so I'd come up high on that. Oh, he's going low. And he's going to leave the 7 pins, so 2 9s in a row for Justin. It's either 9 fills or 9 boxes, right? So 127 with 1 to go. He's currently sitting at 66 ahead of Ed for this string, so whatever he does here is going to add on to that 66 for what Ed has to cover to take the string. Is that going to push the 10? Yes. All right. So a little light on the head pin, and what looked like an ugly 3-1 split has cleaned itself up to just a 7 pin. Justin has been perfect, I think, so far on cleaning up those single pin spares. We'll see if that continues. Absolutely. So chips off the wood, spins around, takes out the 7, and is now at 137 plus this next ball. So a much better second string than the first for Justin. Not that the first was bad by any means. I think that one hit the line on him, but it's another 7, so 144 is Ed claps on for him. 8 out of 10 on the head pin, 1 strike, 5 spares, no 10s, and Ed's in an 83 pin hole for a tie. Yeah, DW. I've learned anything about these scoring systems because I've learned nothing about these scoring systems. Ed's looking for his 4th ball. As he gets up here to start on 21. Needing 84 to take the string, and he's going to start out with a half Worcester on the left. Nice string, Justin. On his target, a little light, gets some great action. I think that 5 is going to go, so he cleans up the half Worcester to only have the 6-7 left. Piece of wood's going to roll to the front, probably catch the lip and flatten out. Woo. Ed had made the decision to go at it. I think he just missed catching that wood by a little bit. Takes out the 7 pin, and we'll start out with 9. So 75 in 4 boxes. He's going to need to string a couple of marks together to put it nicely. All right, so he's on the head pin, and again, when you're on it heavy here, it makes it tough for the walls to help you out. He's looking at the right wing with the 10. A great piece of wood. Oh! I don't think I would have tried to hit that on the cap, but he did, and that's why he's in the A's, and I'm not. So it bounces off the cap, pushes that piece of wood over into the 10 pin, cleans out the wing for the spare. All right, so Ed needs to keep this streak alive, and that's a good pocket ball. Is he going to push back? Push them both? Oh, I love it. Welcome to Millis. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. Give me 1 second, and I'll fix the scoreboard for you. Be right back. I don't care about the scoreboard. Well, good, sir. Alrighty, I fixed his scoreboard. Now I gotta fix mine. 3 for 3 on the head pin. A little heavy there for Ed, and he's gonna leave the right wing. Looks to clean this up to keep his hopes alive in this string. Oh, I think he wants that one back. I heard him quietly, a little unhappy. A little less quietly unhappy. And he's going to settle for the 9. All right, so Ed now still has a chance, but he's going to need a double strike and a 7+ to take this one home. So let's see how this goes. And unfortunately, on the head pin, but left with a 2-1 split. Looking at the 2-4-6, and Justin's got a win string 2. Trying to get a spare here to kind of shave the gap off the wall, but it stays there. So Needs to pin here for a 128, which is a hell of a string, and does. But unfortunately, that's another win for Justin by 16, and now leads by 48 in the match, as I will bring up the stats to show Justin with his 4 points. So far with 1 strike, 9 spares, and 4 tens. I've got you here as a 10, but yeah. Oh, hang on, Justin. You got it. And then Ed with a strike. I got you. Ed with a strike, 3 spares, and 6 tens. Yeah, I cheat. I keep score while we're going here, so we got you. All right, as Justin starts off 3 with an 8.5 pin drop on the head pin, solid. He once again moves the 6 pin probably halfway towards the 3. He's got a great plank hanging out there to kind of help him sweep this through, but he'll probably go right at it. Oh, no harm in using the wood when it's there. So right on the wood, Justin's going to start out the 3rd string with his spare. "37 miles an hour according to the radar gun at the pins, but you never know with these things. I think it varies here a couple of miles per hour lane to lane. You need Bob Lee with his radar gun to drive everybody crazy. Justin, once again on the head pin, gets some great love coming off the wall to come back, take the 2, but not enough to line up and take down the 4-7. But an 8 fill has him at 18 in his first box. I'm telling you, that second ball accuracy is really, you want to understand the difference between A, B, C, and D. And it's just that, as he goes ahead and absolutely crushes the 4-7 the way that you should. I was bowling here with Duncan the other day, and we were just laughing about a display of pathetic shots at single pins. Justin, once again, right on the head pin. This time he's looking at the 4-7 again. Piece of wood trailing behind the 4-7. So kind of help him if he's a little off to the right. And just kind of like I expected, allows that 4-pin to push off the wall a little better. And just like that, it's 3 in a row. So 46 plus through 3. See if Justin can keep the streak going here. Perfect in the 3rd. Is he going to get out of it? It might still happen. No. Another 8 fill, but unfortunately with all the action that happened down there, by the time the dust settled, the 3-pin stood up. So he's looking at a 3-4 without any help. Oof. It's always fun to try to slide that pin across. And Justin's going to settle for an open here. I'll be right back. Can I show the 3rd string? I probably should. Thank you for taking care of me. Some days I'm sitting here watching the scoreboard and watching the bowlers, and part of the fun of trying to do it all yourself. Justin, again on the head pin. Thanks, Ryan. So 5 for 5 on the head pin this match. Looking at the 3-5-9. Oh, I know he's going to want that one back as he pulled that to the left. So just the 3-pin to keep his... Oh, nope, I take it back. He had a 9 in the last one. So a 3-pin to pick up the 10. Have a nice 73 half. I think he threw that one with a little bit of anger. Good half, Justin. So here we are at the midpoint of the match. No, thank you, Ryan. So Justin's sitting here with a pretty good lead. Ed's going to have to keep up with his 73 half. And we'll let it go here. So Ed a little off his mark. He's going to leave the 4-horse to the left real quick. Part of the fun of streaming different bowlers is it going to come off the wall? No. One of the things that's happened in Millis over the last, I'd say, 4 or 5 months is you used to be able to get the 4 horsemen in a lot of different ways. And lately it seems like if you're up high, you're very often going to leave that third pin standing. So either the 4 or the 6. And unfortunately, I think Ed got bit by that. Well, unfortunately, I think he's going to get another shot at it. So that second ball, still short of the head pin. Once again, the 4-horse off to the left. That's the way. That was pretty. That's the way that I like to hit the 4 horsemen. I like to come in from the outside, and I just feel better about it. And absolutely explodes the line. The 4 pin comes off the wall to take out the 7. See if you can fill it and start to play a game of catch-up. Oh, no love. On the head. Wow. On the head pin with a good ball. A lot of action happening on the plate, but doesn't seem to do anything good. So he's looking at the 5, 6, 10 with nothing on the plate to help him. Gonna punch out the 5. Looking at the 6-10, the 4-10 here to clean this up. It was a 4, 5, 10. Woo! Nice try, Ed. Start it up. Frustrated after hitting the head pin and getting left with that kind of mess. I got Jake Cook hanging out with us here. And Ed once again with the 4-horse, but this time on the right side. No, Ed knew when he let that one go. He wasn't too happy with it. Unfortunately for him, off to the right, and just the head pin to clean up for the 10, and there it is. So trailing 28 in the half. Good time for a strike, good time for a mark, definitely to stay in the string. 45 through 4. Mike, thanks for popping by over there. I appreciate it, and good luck getting your work done. As unfortunately for Ed, is on the head pin and looking at the spread eagle and bowling in a hurry out of frustration. Sitting here looking at a 5 box and gonna have to work hard to clean himself up here. Ouch. Takes out the 2-4 and has to settle for a 7 box, and just some rough love from Millis. No luck. No, and then when you do, no, absolutely. And from what I can see, as Justin steps up here in the second half. I do. So I'm looking at it right here, Ed. 4, 6. You have 12 head pins. You have 8 splits. So when you're on it, you're just getting beat up. Oh, the ball goes back and forth. But yeah. Oh, you'll get there. Justin almost cleans up his mess there, but that ball goes back and forth and shoots the single. Again, can't emphasize it enough how much hitting those single pins is important. Oh, Ian, it's totally true. You know, like I said, Ed was over here talking about his difficulties with hitting the head pin and, you know, just how things have gone for him. And, you know, he's hit the head pin 12 times. As I said, he has 8 splits to show for it. So it's, is it 8? Yeah, it's 8. No, that's 9. Speaking of splits, and the conversation proves itself useful as Justin is on the head pin and is left with the bedpost. So a 7-10 split. It's got 3 pieces of wood. That second one looks angled great, so I'd go stripe or left of the stripe there on that front piece of wood. That's exactly what he did. Perfect, right on that stripe, and picks up a pretty spare to show for it. We'll look at it again here. Again, watch that stripe. Spot on. You know, it doesn't look it when you're bowling, but there's a lot of room between those pins. Light on the head pin, gets a little mix, but he's left with parallels. Looking at the 5, 6, 9, 10, but there's really some good wood at play there to help him push this one in. I know he's waiting for that front one to stop, but I would probably try to catch that piece of wood right in front of the 6 pin. Ooh, no. He hits the cap and pushes it around wonderfully, but he moves the 5 pin off its mark, but it won't go down. Now, Ian, you're absolutely right. Sometimes you hit the head pin with everything that you think it should be, and when the dust settles, you wonder why you bothered trying to hit the head pin or the pocket. The physics in this game are phenomenal. I don't know if you've ever punched out stuff like the 189, or you just punch out either the 2 or the 3 pin alone, or even the head pin alone. I'm going to think that the 5 pin was held up by some silicone coated in dust. And again, as if we're talking about these beautiful head pin balls that just leave you shaking your head, Justin's sitting here looking at the 5-7 split with nothing on the plate. It's part of the fun of Candlepin, though. I think that's what makes it... I mean, I grew up in New England, as Justin misses off to the right. So Candlepin to me is bowling. I've bowled 10 pin. I've bowled duck pin. But Candlepin, something about it, you know, it's like playing pool. You have to play the angles, you have to play the wood right and stuff, and it just makes it more fun. Justin takes out the 5 for a 9 box and is sitting at 118 through 9. So slowed down a bit here in the second half. So hopefully Ed can get up there and straighten himself out and put together some good boxes and catch up in this one. That's going to come forward. Is it going to come forward enough? No. So once again, Justin square on the head pin. Drops 9, just looking at the 3 pin. Beautiful. I'm telling you, it's a clinic on accuracy here with Justin as he continues to just take down single pin after single pin. It's amazing. The wood stopped his ball. He's throwing a ball damn near 40 miles an hour, and it hits those pins and comes to a flat stop on the plate spinning around. It's pretty cool. I don't know where, what's that, Fredericton? I have no idea where that is. I don't think I've ever heard of that lanes, but that doesn't mean anything. Justin off target finally there. 9 out of 10 on the head pins. Takes a 5 fill for a 133. Ed's going to have to throw an 82 half to take this string and get himself on the board. You know. All right, let's step it up in the second half. There we go. A good mixing ball, but unfortunately doesn't take out the 8 for him. Piece of wood looks like it. Yeah, it may be guarding this a bit, so he's got to watch out for that clearing away. All righty. Spins that wood around. The helicopter takes out the 8 pin, and it starts out the second half with a head pin and a spare, so I got to be careful with my replays. He's a quick... All right. I got a chance there for my replays when the head pin drops itself. Ed's a pretty quick bowler. Oh, nice. Well, congratulations from Canada. Nice to have you guys in here. I'm glad you're able to catch our stream and enjoy it. I don't think I've ever bowled Candlepin up in Canada. That said, anytime I've gone to Canada, it's mostly been to see hockey games. Ed, unfortunately, is on the head pin. And again, for him, third split on 4 head pin hits in this string. He's got the ring off to the white, wing off to the right, which he takes out, but doesn't have anything carry over to take out the 4 pin. So looking for the single pin for the 10. Spot on. Nice ball, Ed. 78 through 7. But it's going to have to drop 56 in these last 3 to catch Waters to get himself on the board here. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Let's catch that strike again as he just absolutely comes up high and crushes the 1-3 pocket. There's a lot of strikes that Millis gives you that other houses won't, but that's a strike in every house. Ooh, looking for the double as he shaves it well. Ed is definitely warming up. He's throwing a much better ball on target. He's got a couple of pieces of wood here that look that might be a bit of a pain in the ass with that 3 pin, but I think they're back against it, so. Ed was going to fight somebody. Just kind of hung out there for a bit before slowly falling forward. This is why you get down there with sandpaper and you round the corner of the pins. All right, so 108 plus as Ed's trying to play catch up here. A big splash on the head pin. Take a corner. I love it. I love the enthusiasm and the emotion there. Ed splashes, leaving the 4-6. Got a questionable piece of wood. You would need to convert this, and then I believe an 8 drop to get back in this, to get this win. So it's tough the way that wood's lined up. You really can't kick it off the wall. Looking for the cap to see what happens. Yeah, I think that was the right try. Nice try. Ed completes the clean half. 5 for 5 on head pins, pair of spares, and a strike. Unfortunately, Justin's first half was a little too strong, and Ed's 0 for 3, but that was his closest there, only off by 7. Justin leads the match by 55, as I'll show you the stats there. And just for you, Ryan, I'm going to start showing the string 4 scoreboard. Let's get this out of the way as Justin gets ready to fire away in string number 4. Lane 21 doesn't want to give a clean rack. Justin starts out off to the right there, leaving the 1-2-4. Ooh. Punches out the 2, so just the 1-4 for the cleanup, nice and dry. We'll see if he can make this for the 10. No, I agree with you, Ian. That was really kind of tricky. You know, the wood wasn't forward as Justin misses both and settles for an 8 in his first box. Yeah, that 4-6 split, the way that wood was capping, coming from the right, made sense. You know, you'd probably have to have tried to shoot the ball outside of the 6 pin to try to have the 6 pin nudge that wood itself over to the 4. So as a lefty, I'd just be screwed. Justin's on the head pin, and because he yelled loud enough, the 9 pin fell over. So he's just got to, once again, single pin spares. These are his bread and butter here. So just has to shoot the 7 as I bounce my table, apparently. Continues to be damn near flawless on converting those. I don't think he's missed one this match. So Justin's first mark of the 4th has him at 18 plus a ball through 2. Phil ball's a little light on the head pin. it clears out to the side. When the dust is settled, he's looking at the 5, 7, 8. He's got a piece of wood there in the front that I'm sure he's going to try to helicopter. Maybe look to the right side of the stripe. I think, yeah, he knew that one when he lost that one when he let it go and yelled at himself without swearing. That's pretty impressive. All right, so I still would aim to the right side of that stick. Oh, he came over to the left side and cleans out the 5-8 for a 9 box, so 34 through 3. So far on the match, he's got 1 strike and 15 spares, 7 tens. Ed Woodside with 2 strikes, 6 spares, and 10 tens. No, they're still rolling. It's going to take out the 8. Nope, went off the plate. So off his mark. Get some action on the plate. He's got a piece of wood in front of the head pin, looking at the 1-8. It's angled, I think, just slightly, but you're going to aim for that stripe. Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful. You kind of hope that you can just hit that and push it straight back and get the spare without it deflecting off, and exactly what happened for him. So mark in the 4th has Justin at 44 plus. Back on the head pin, but pretty high. I think a little to the left side of it. Punches through, leaving the 3-6 to the right and the 4 pin over to the left. No wood to help him out. Gets a little mixed down there, but not enough energy coming over there to take out the 4 pin. Ian, I agree with you. You know, absolutely. Being able to hit those single pins it's massive. It really, really is. And it doesn't matter where they are, as Justin leaves that one on the plate, speaking of the subject. So a 60 half for Waters, as Woodside's going to come up here. Still, you know, I would like to have a disappointing half and still have 60 pins on the board. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, practicing single pins anytime you get a chance, it's important, because that little bit of accuracy really is, you know, ultimately 5, 10, 15 pin difference. Ed starts out his 4th string on the head pin, and unfortunately, as has been the case for him throughout this whole match, is looking at a split. Got the 6-10 with a 7 all the way over. He's going to try to get it off the wall, and it just doesn't happen. So he takes out the 6-10, looking at the 7. Absolutely nice and high. Cleans up that corner. And this may be the first time in any of this that Ed has a lead through completed boxes, as he has a 2-pin lead, 10-8 over Justin. Unfortunately, that ball's going to stay outside. He cleans up the 3-2 on the right. So he's got the 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. A nice piece of wood lying down in the middle. So again, I'd come at this high and hard on the head pin. Let it kind of crush through and see what happens. Boom. Yeah, nice explosive cover there by Ed as he hits that pretty much right where you'd want to, and gets rewarded with a spare for it. So 20 plus here. Good ball. On the head pin, nudges the 5. You know, if you're going to get an ugly split, so he's looking at the 5-10, but I really like the wood the way it's lined up on the 5. You kind of hit that wood and let it direct you. Oh, hell of a try. Hell of a try. Just not enough of an angle there to get over to the 10 pin. And the lane a little too long there. Ed's just a little to the left of it, takes the 9, but to the point, still actually ahead in the string, 37-34 through 3 completed boxes. But he's going to need 24 in these last 2 to stay in front. ball stays out to the right, explodes the back of the rack. Looking at the 1, 2, and 4. No. It's nice to hear someone that talks to themselves as much as I do when I bowl. Ed knew he left that one out there to the right. And oof. I'm going to chop out the head pin there. So an 8 for Ed. Rally! See if he can warm it up here. 45 through 4. Really wants a mark to catch up there. 5-10, 5-7. Those are great ones to put. Oh, there you go. Come on. Head back on the head pin with a good ball. Not enough drive to go through to pick up the 5-8, but now he's just got an uninterrupted shot at the two of them right down the middle. And all right on it. So he's giving himself a chance to stay ahead in this one here as he cleans up the 5-8 for the spare. Justin's, oh, there he goes. He's coming over. So we'll sit here. So Ed with 55 plus has a chance here in the fourth to steal one away from Justin. But obviously at the rate right now from fallen pins, Justin is set to take this string as we start out the second half. Justin's off his mark. He's going to punch out the half Worcester to the left, but then also kick out the 4 and the 5. So he's got the horse to the right with the 7 and 9. Hey, Dennis. Dennis Green's popped by. I don't know if that's Al Blanchard. Justin a little heavy on the head pin. Punches out a bunch of them, but leaves himself the bedposts. He's got some interesting wood to play with, so maybe catch the right side of that front pin. See if he can't kick it over there. There it is. It's only a 10, but you know what? Let's clip that. It's always pretty when you see the 7-10 go down, wood or not. Ryan, I'll take a look at his ball the next time around. Thanks, Jeff. I really do. I've done the pin cam, I think, as long, and I'm really trying to help other streamers up here that are doing ACST and other stuff get pin cams in there. I'm always willing to help people stream better. Justin a little light on the head pin as it wraps around, leaves his triangle off to the left. But yeah, Ryan, I'll let you know what I see on Ed's ball there on the screen. 21 and 22, I think they're slightly fast on the radar gun. As Justin's off his target and going to take out the 5 pin. From lane to lane, you can throw the same ball. And, you know, again, these guns are designed around 10 pin. Candlepin balls are a little small for them. Oof. Justin chops his way out of that triangle one by one. They're sitting at 79 through 7. So with 3 to go, he's looking to get himself started up again. But yeah, Jeff, I will do anything I can to help streamers. I'll give them tips on software, configurations. I'll send them the score sheets I use. If I see a streamer doing something good, I try to steal from their work and their ideas. Justin punches out the spread eagle and takes out the 10 along with it, which comes forward and knocks out the 6, but doesn't get all the way up to the 3 pin, though it leaves a nice piece of wood alongside the 3 pin. We'll see if Justin can shoot this over for the spare. I think he hit that a little more on the cap than he wanted to. It does get over there, but it doesn't come over clean enough to take out the 2 pin. And he just has that single pin to clean up for the 10. And I think a little off balance on the release there. That ball is going to drift, and he's going to settle for the 9. So 88 with 2 to go for Justin here. See if he can put some marks together to make Ed have to work for it down the stretch. Again, a little off the head pin for Justin to the left. Looking at the 110 as things slice and dice through the rack for him. He's got a plank staring right at him. So hopefully he can kick off the head pin into that. Nope. Kind of drove through it a little too much, so that pin got shot to the side. Justin's a little frustrated that it didn't carry for him. So just the 10 in the corner for the 10. Right on the line. So that would have hit it with or without the wood in front of it. 98 with the box to go. Again, Justin coming off of 3 big strings, so this is going to frustrate him a bit. It's never over with Justin, is it? Boom. The hammer, the late trip of the 4-pin. Beautiful cross and bang. All right. Don't jinx yourself, Ed. First ball on the strike, again, just off his mark. So punches through the half Worcester to the left, takes out the 5-10 along with it. So he's got the 1-3-6-9 and then the 4-7 to see what he can do here to finish up this fill. So currently sitting at 112 plus 2. So a 6 fill, and he's irritated as he takes the 114. So as Ed steps up, he's going to be filling a spare. So he's at 55 plus, but needs to cover 60 pins to take a string and get himself on the board there. And Ryan, as I promised, I will get you the speed of his ball down at the pit. Woo! Right on the head pin. Nice high and heavy. No love taking out the 7. Scoreboard says that's just over 32 miles an hour. And remember, the cameras for this are at the pins. Looking at the corner. Yep, that was a no-doubter. Absolutely right on the line. And again, same side spares. That's the key for these guys. Like, it's just amazing the accuracy they have on shooting the corner pins from their bowling hand. And a little short of the head pin, a little short of the fill that he wanted there. So he takes out a clump on the right side. He's got the 4-horse down the left, the 10 pin over to the right. And, oh, puts that ball right where you're supposed to. The head pin kind of went up and around the 10, so no love on the spare for him. Look at that. Same side pin. Cleans up that 10, second time in a row perfectly. All right, with 3 to go, he needs 26 pins for the win, which should be a shoo-in. This time a little off to the left. He shaves the head pin, but no love as he's sitting here looking at the 7, 8, 10. There's a bunch of wood over to the 10. I would shoot it to the right side of that front pin. He's a little high. Huh. Not what I would have expected out of that, but that's why I would have tried to go to the other side of that pin. So cleans out the 7. Rearranges the wood, and he's going to go through the uprights on that. Settle for an 8. I'm sure that's not what he wanted. 1 pin at least would have made it easier for him, but only needs 18 in these last 2 boxes to take the string. He's trailing to the moment 72 pins on the match, and don't let that bug you. Oof. Punches through the head pin. Leaves the wing on the left, the triangle on the right. So the 2, 4, 7, and then the 6, 9, 10. Plays that piece of wood, and it just kind of tickles everything. When they're all said and done, he's got the 4, 7 off to the left, the 6 off to the right. I don't think I would have imagined that kind of behavior. That was a nice ball. Takes the 9, so 106 with a box to go. 8 to tie, 9 to win, and really needs to chip into the deficit that he's got. So he's sitting at 63 pins down in the match. That's a good ball. Oh, it like flattened out on him or something. Punches through his 5th split of the string. Looking at the 3, 6, 4, 7. Oh, no. Punches out 1, so now his head's in the game. He needs 2. So he's currently sitting at 113. 2 for the win. He got 2. Oh, boy. Fighting your way through splits down the stretch. I'm telling you, it's good hearing these guys go at it. So he takes the string 115 to 114. This feels like the match I had against Justin. He's going into this 5th string trailing 54. I'm sorry, my match against Duncan. So let's go over to string 5 here. We'll get the stats out of the way, and we'll get Justin to start us off here in the 5th. Justin having a tough time on his slides up there. We get an OMG out of him as he punches out the half Worcester on the left. See what happens here in his second ball. Woof! I think that one skipped a bit on the line, which when that happens, it can really change the way that your ball rotates and deflects off the pins. So 5-7-10 here. Takes out the middle. It's always fun to try to kick out either the 5-7 or the 5-10, but obviously it's hard to cut the pins that much. So starting up with an 8. What are you doing, Ray? A bunch of people are showing up here for the TV roll-offs. I see Aaron Fontaine, Phil Clough, Dennis Green's all the way down there. A couple people I don't know because I really don't know many. I'm kind of like the ghost of most folks. Justin's off to the right. Leaves himself the 1-2-4 here for a spare. But it is fun having a bit of an audience now building up for this match because a couple of great bowlers going against each other head to head. Justin punches through the head pin there, so 2-4 to clean up for a 10. Justin's had a hell of a streak, and again, I don't think he's lost an ACST match in something like 15 or 16 months. But he misses his mark there and settles for a pair of 8s to open up the 5th string. So obviously there are 14 points available in a match. You get 2 points for each string, and you get 4 points for total. So right now he has 6 points locked down. Ed's got the other 2. So either winning this string or holding Ed off on total pinfall, which he's got a pretty big lead. Whew. Back on target. Everything but the 4-pin with a pretty powerful pocket hit. But again, I think it was 54 pins of an advantage. So unless Ed can win this string by 55, Justin's streak should stay intact. And there you go. Back on those single pin spares. Get my marks in place. No, not there, you jerk. As we get ready for the fill here. Once again, on the head pin. Strange wrap for him as he leaves the 5-9, which I actually would expect, if the way that he throws his ball, that the 5-8 would be more likely. But right down the middle here to put 2 marks together. And I don't know if he's having a problem with the approach or whatever, but he's pretty pissed at himself for letting that one go off to the left. I love how intense some of these guys get. Drops that one off to the right out of frustration. So 43-4 for Justin. All right, Justin trying to get back on track here as he throws in the 5th. Off to the right, cleans out the back, leaving the 1-2-4. Nice and quiet as everybody's watching the match. Ooh, heavy on the head pin, but manages to knock the 2 off the wall and take the spare to hang the half with a 53 plus. So you'll see here as the 2-pin kicks out, falls right back in. Pretty spare. All right, so Ed's going to come up here in the 5th. He's got a 53 plus half to deal against. At the moment, stepping up 107. Wow. Absolute hammer. No, I don't want that. Oh, I see what happened. It's just I hadn't given the 10 seconds between the stats because Ed got up there and just fired that strike away so fast. Boom. Ah, that's great. Let's get my replay out of there. We'll get back here to Ed live as he works on that strike. Looking for 2. Folks, that was an instant replay, but this is as Ed picks up the first double strike of the match. So let me do some artwork work here while everything else is going on. The pressure of clicking buttons. No. So 30 and a lot of bonus pins coming in here. 3. Wow. Folks, again, not instant replay, but this is. Triple strike for Ed to start out the 5th. How you doing, Glenn? Alrighty, you can talk. Crossing across Brooklyn, is he going to get some love? No, but an 8 drop, and true to Ed's luck for this whole series on the head pin with a split. So he's got the 9-10. He's got a couple of pieces of wood here. He's got one up high and angled. Probably going to want to come up on the cap of that one. Oh, he's going low. Yep. Had a feeling if you didn't get up high on that guy. No, that's still only 8. So an explosive half. Let me fix my own stuff. As Ed takes the 9 box there. Why am I still fixated on him getting one there when he didn't? Ooh! Ed, unfortunately, I think caught himself on a short stop, took a fall, and unfortunately, once you go across that line, they don't count. So his first ball's wiped out. Thankfully, he's all right. The other couple weeks ago, I think I didn't realize I had my little booty on my foot and took a dive down a lane, but hopefully he can settle himself down and. Well, that's one way to. 5 for, well, can't give him the head pin for that. Can't give him a split for that because it's his second ball. Would have been 5 for 5 on head pins, I guess. But looking at the 7-10 here, this isn't for a spare. This is for a 10. He's got some great wood, and he's got some awful wood. And wow. Ed, can you give us something interesting for a half of bowling? I didn't break a hip. 93 for the half. A beautiful job for a start by Ed here as he's really trying to give his shot at getting back in this match. So Justin's going to come up here working on a spare. And, yeah, see how this ends up. Wow. So a beautiful pocket hit. And unfortunately, left with the 8 and 9 with no help. So at this point in time, you kind of just go pluck. You can try to kick one into the other, but there goes the 9. And again, single pin accuracy. We've been talking about that throughout the match. This is what really separates the better bowlers from the not better bowlers. 2 shots, square on, picking up those single pins. What's that? So Justin here is building up on the split for total. He's sitting at plus 32 for the match. And I'll show that again when I get a chance. And he isn't going to be... All right. All right. You got away from that one there. It looked like it was going to be a yucky split. The right side cleans itself out. So just the 2-4-7. The left wing to pick up for a spare. Oof. A little high. Takes out the 2-4. The 4 clears itself up and around the 7. So just the 7 pin here for the 10. And that one's offline. So a 9 for Justin here with 3 to go. So as we're talking about the... no, that's it. Stay up. So Justin right now is 41 pins ahead of Ed with 3 boxes to go for the match total. Well, let's add 10 to that right away as Justin goes ahead and gets a great mixing strike there as he's on the head pin on it. So you want me to download the highlight clip of that one for you? That was beautiful. I did one the other week. Ed Woodside kind of asking if I'd be kind enough to remove that moment from the video. Unfortunately, with live, we don't have that option. Justin looking for 2. A little further to the right than he wanted. Cleans out the back 6, and he's got the 4 horse running down the left side here. Again, both filling a strike and trying to add a little more distance for the match total. Pitcher perfect as he just splits the 1-2 and cleans up the 4 horse for a much needed mark. So 110 plus through 9 for Waters. And I love it. I love when the bowlers come around and hang out and chat and talk some crap. It's great. That's what I'm hoping for in these streams. It's something you never really get to enjoy in the old television shows. Waters on the head pin. Let's see if this guy angles out for him. But as it stands right now, he's got the 5, 6, 10. He's got an interesting piece of wood high on the 5. Try not to get the cap. Try to catch it on the side and sweep it. Yep, that's it. A great ball as he adjusts to come in from the side. Sweeps that 5 pin over. And is doing a good job of making sure he's not going to give away the match total as well. And the lane's helping him out. Give him a 3 fill. Good old golf references coming in here to Justin as he's the pro, I believe, at Marlboro Country Club. So 127 plus. Lift, a little mark off. And is it going to be a Millis? Fix one up above. That doesn't matter. So a 7 fill for Justin, a 134 and a 650 on the match for Justin. So they're going to wait for the pins to reset. And as you can see, Justin here, that looks like what? 36 out of 50 on the head pin. 3 strikes, 20 spares. I got to get these out because Ed wastes no time. Looking for his 4th strike of the match on the head pin. Wraps around, trips the 10, but leaves the 6. So the single pin for a spare. And there it is. So spot on. He wants this string. 103 plus through 6. Needs a total of 32 pins to take the string. He's got a 32-pin lead in the string, plus this fill. He knew it. That one dropped, and he'd be halfway to Worcester if he hadn't done that. But takes out the half Worcester on the right, the 2 fill. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. After the half Worcester, you throw the ball on the head pin, and there goes the 1-8, or the other way around, the 1-9. So he's got the check mark to the left, 6-10 over to the right, and that's a beautiful ball. Push it. Oh! Almost got it. Hit the check mark. Had enough to push the 6, but no love knocking down that 10. Needs 21 pins with 3 to go. He's trailing 74 to get the match total. Once again, on the head pin. Leaving the 5, 6, 7. No wood to help him. Get the 2. Get a kick. Whoa! Nice try, Eddie. He does. He kicks it back off the wall, but it slid behind the 5. Does the toe tap at the line, picks up the 10 as he drills the 5. That's pretty impressive. I'm pretty sure if I have a stop like that, that ball is going nowhere near where I want it to. All right, so. All right, he's going to calm it down and take some pins here as he takes out the left triangle in the back. Sitting at 124, coming into this box. Smashes through the center. Nothing but the 2 and the 6. And that's going to go right through the uprights. So an 8 box has him at 132. Needs 3 pins. But that's going to give Justin the match. Justin sitting at plus 56, less whatever Ed does here. Ed's keeping it interesting. But that ball right there gives him this string. So 135 plus. That's a beautiful ball, but stayed out a little light. Wraps around, leaving the 2-5 to finish up here for the match. The wood lines up pretty. And there it is. So the 10 box makes it a 142. But Waters will win the match. 10-4. So 36-30 on head pins. Ed has 5 strikes to Justin's 3. 20 spares to 10 for Ed. So Justin just outspared him. Justin had 10 10s. Ed had 14 10s. But let's have a little fun. Let's get this out of here. We'll put up the strings. And let's go ahead and review the highlights and all of the clips that we had through this match. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to try to make this a little bigger so I can enjoy the screen on my side. And you can see there all of the strings and all of the results. So Justin will win it 10 points to 4, throwing a 650, a 130 average on the nose, which will lower his ACST average. Ed throws a 604 for a 120.8 average, which will raise his up just a little bit. But let's get these out of the place. Let's get the scoreboard out of there. Let's get the stats out of there. And let's watch some highlights. So some of these are just bowlers doing what they should do. So this one, nice and easy, the first mark of the match, but chopping the wood out and then dropping back down and kicking that guy over to the side. Justin up high on that pin to clean out the 9-10. Single pins. Again, single pins and same side single pin spares were really what defined how these guys threw most of the match. Justin picking up the 10 pin there. Ed with a 6-7-10. Going to push over and clean that guy up. We talked about the single pin spares and just how important they are. Waters goes down the line, taking out the 7. And now let's get to a couple of strikes. No doubt in that one as he clobbers the pocket. Push the 5 into the 8. A little 1-3-6 action. Actually, that was the 1-3 5.7. Ed here shooting a 1-2-7. Again, that piece of wood behind is just going to plow right through. Looking at the 5-7-8, you kind of want to go over and sweep the wood. Didn't quite play out the same way I would have expected. Waters here with a plank in front of the 7. Drills it. Waters with a 10. This was, I think, back-to-back, if I recall. Beautiful. Single pins, corners. Waters. So, and mind you, these are just the clips through the first 2 strings. You can tell looking at the side there on the scoreboard. Ed taking the 3-1 down. And then, boom. Gonna push the 2 of them. Sometimes you got to love the action here at Millis. It can bite you just as much as it helps you, but when it helps you, it's a beautiful thing to watch. Waters on a 3-6. Took it a little longer as it bounced off the wall, but down it goes. And Waters, again, just being right on the mark. And this is before Ryan had told me to look at string 3. Waters had strung together 3 spares at the beginning of the third. 4-7 again, this time with a little bit of wood. Ed, got to run down the 4-horse. This time from the outside. That's the way that I like to take them. 7-10 split. I believe this is only for a 10, but they're always fun to watch. Perfectly played. You see that pin just roll over there, come off the wall, and kick it out. Waters with a 3-pin. Bang. Kind of funny watching that ball sit down after that hit. Ed here with a tricky piece of wood. Still rolling slightly as he catches it and helicopters it back into that 9-pin. Sorry, 8-pin. Late in the third, Ed's going to warm up a bit here, and boom. Crushes the pocket. You see both the 4 and the 10 dropping down, synchronized swimming, and then follows that a little later with a wiggly 2-pin that falls forward for him. So the spare on the strike. And here we move on to the 4th, and Waters with his first spare once again. The single corner pin, followed by a 1-8. Drills the plank through the 1 back into the 8. Everything in the heart here for Ed, and he just explodes it down the center. Ed looking at the 5-8. Shoots that out for his second mark of the first half. Get Waters. Again, the 7-10. Beautiful way to pick up a 10, but always feels good. And then the match wasn't over for Justin. That string was struggling, but striking the 10th to keep him alive. Forgive all the noise here as we're lighting up for the TV roll-offs. Ed's shooting a corner pin. Waters shooting at the 4. Again, these single pin spares are exactly just a huge difference between the bad bowlers like me and the good bowlers like them. 1-2-4 with a heavy kick off the wall. And let's get Ed. These are not the same shot 3 times. Strike number 1. Strike number 2 as the 8 comes forward into the 5. And then strike number 3. Crushing pocket, everything explodes up the middle. So Ed with a triple, starting off the 5th string. Waters gets one of his own with a beautiful mixing strike late in the 5th. Then follows it up by running down the horse. And then a great little sweep here on the 5-6-10. Beautiful ball.